What is going on, guys? We are back in the flesh. You got Val. You got my.
And your boy Z, we are back, baby. What's good, world?
We are back, man. It's so much going on. Now that the boys are back practicing fully. I think last week when we recorded, man, it was only day one. Um, it feels good to say, man. I think we are almost fully without having to wait for weekends without football. I know we got the Hall of Fame game this week, and by the time this records, it should be coming on the same night. But we got the Hall of Fame game, week one of preseason, right here, right around the corner. College football season is essentially underway. So we good, man. We here, man. We 1 week into training camp. How you feeling, Z? I know you had a festive weekend, right? Celebrating another award, another achievement. I don't know if you want to give the people that. I don't know. What's up?
Yeah, I mean, I shared the news. I was humbly awarded the top real estate agent in our real estate office for the second year in a row. So that was definitely uh, unexpected, but welcome news. So Bell was able to come through and show love at the event. So
Fact.
we definitely did celebrate and have a good time that night.
We did. Nothing short of a good time. And I mean, such a good accomplishment. I mean, it started off as something I think, as a side hustle or part-time situation, and you turned it into something special. So, man, super proud of you for me, wifey, and the family. Proud of you,
Appreciate it, bro.
Z. So thought we'd start off with a shout out, obviously over the weekend as well. Celebrated my mom and my sister Sharifa releasing their first book called
Come
Friend.
on, book release.
Yeah, they did their book release. So once again, if you follow me and you want information on that, hit me, message me or whatever, and you can get yourself one of those beautiful books that they put together. So wanted to get that stuff out the way because I feel like every weekend, I think we say this every year, but every weekend it seems like something is going on, whether it's celebrating something, whether it's hosting something. But guess what? I don't complain because I'm just like the summertime in Buffalo, especially
Elite.
it is elite, but it seems to last such a short period of time.
8 weeks at
Yeah.
best.
8 weeks at best. So any outdoor activities you can do, now that we're walking into this month of August, I ask you guys, go out there and do it, man. Whatever it is, it could be a concert, it could be a fucking family cookout, whatever you got to do, do it. Spend some time with your people and try to enjoy it. I know some of us get stuck working, shout out to air condition though, shout out to AC. Some of yeah, some of us get stuck at the trap sometimes, i.e. myself, but I'll always preach balance, being able to work hard but being also able to play hard as well and reward yourself. Speaking of reward ourselves, I will before we get into football too. Got a new Whippington as well, man. Got a
Hey,
new
the,
vehicle.
the new whip. Come on. What
Yeah,
was wrong with the
man.
old one? The old one was fire.
Yeah, it was. And that's my baby. I'm gonna miss little Ruby or whatever the name was. But I just had some small issues, man. For those who don't know, man, I had me a little 2020 Camry, red interior, sporty joint, sunroof, all that. Everything was smooth. It just, after 2.5 years, it started, having a couple small issues like all vehicles do. And just I don't want to say that, where I got the whip from, but they wasn't picking up the phone as fast as I needed them to get the service that I needed.
Hear
Um,
that?
so I went on out to West Her here in Western New York and got up with my man Billy Vogel and some other people, and they looked out for me and the wife. So me and her got the his and her combo going. So next time you see
Come
us,
on. Come on. His and her whips.
yeah, next time he says I actually send you a message after we record just to show you what we got on. But hint, hint, this little prime drink might represent the flavor I'm with nowadays. You know what I mean? A little Carolina / Buffalo Blue. So
Hey. All
yeah,
right now.
yeah, you'll see that. But
I see
anyway,
you, Poppleville.
hey man, you go. I said if you're gonna work hard, you got to be able to play a
You
little
right.
bit. So
You right.
but we're blessed. So I give it all up to the man above and just being able to work things out. And obviously the universe will work in your favor too if you do the right thing. So fast forward through all of that though, man, we back. Bills season. We're days away from their first preseason game.
Literally.
I mean, like less than double digits. I mean, I think by the time we record this, it will be less than double. I mean, by the time this comes out, it will be.
I
Um,
mean, shit, we got actual NFL football this week.
I know, man, and that's the fun part about it is that I mean, I'll ask you first, man. What do you look forward to most when it comes to the Hall of Fame weekend, Hall of Fame game? Is it the guys getting inducted, or is it the actual play on the field? What do you get more excited
Nah, bro, I don't care about the induction at all. To be honest, I don't think I've ever. I mean, if there's a Bills player going, and I might have hopped in on the induction ceremony and watched a little bit of it. But other than that, I don't even think I give it the time of day. Just because, I mean, I don't know, just don't do nothing for me personally.
I
But
feel
the game itself, it's normally, I mean, we're talking third and fourth string players. So, like, I'm not excited about who I'm watching. I'm just excited about the fact that I'm watching NFL football.
facts.
Live NFL football is back. So, like, for me, this is really the start, even though I doubt I'm going to see any type of starter level players out there.
Right.
But it's still NFL football and it's back. And it's just the excitement of knowing every week from now until February, I got NFL football.
Yeah. I think that's the big one. You hit on the last part is that once you turn on to that channel, I think channel 2, you realize, once they put the theme music on, once you see, I think Mike Tirico might still be doing the night games. Once you hear Mike Tirico, Collinsworth, not so much, but once you hear those guys' voices and you see
It's time.
and you see the guys holding their helmets and you see the guys with their jackets on and they doing the national anthem, like that's what I'm looking forward to. I mean, just the whole setup. Like you just feel like, you know what? Where my drink at? Boom. Food somewhere close by, something to snack on. And you can literally, and I know for you, you got a little man at home with you. You can pull your kid next to you and be like, this is opening night. You know what I
It's
mean?
what it is.
Now we know the regular season opening night is the real special night, but I feel like preseason opening night, Hall of Fame game, that's when you really start to get that. Oh, okay, we back. You know what I mean? Second stringers, third stringers, it don't matter. These dudes are gonna be out there flying around because we know why. They fighting for their
For their
livelihood.
life,
I mean,
right?
they
Their
gotta
livelihood.
right. They gotta make the 53. So I feel like that Hall of Fame game really, from a player perspective and from a fan perspective, you really like, oh yeah, it's go time. It's time to really strap up. For coaches, it's a fun time for them too because from coaches to the front office, because now you really get to start to grade some of these guys because you can see what they do in practice. And we all seen it before. You get the great practice players. They do good on the field. They catching passes. Oh, such a big story. This guy is from Division III, fucking Damon College, and
It's not Damon.
he's worked so hard. Man, show me what it's like when you got the other colored jersey on the other side and when the refs is out there and they moving the chains. That's what I need to see because it's a combination. So definitely looking forward to that. And I think it's Houston and Chicago. For those who
Right.
don't know, we got Houston and Chicago playing. I'm trying to think of who the top person that's getting inducted this week, but I do know off the top of my head, Dwight Freeney is one of them from the Indianapolis Colts. Shout out to Syracuse. Can't mention Dwight without mentioning Syracuse. So shout out to
That's right.
and mentioning the killer spin move. So for any young listeners,
Man, his spin move was unfair. The straight cheat code level.
yeah,
The speed of it, the effectiveness of it.
yeah,
Yo, him and Robert Mathis as a tandem was
Correct.
fucking deadly, man.
But that's why, and you got to think about it. That's why a lot of defensive minded coaches. That's why they always try to stack up on edges.
You can never have too many good ones.
Right.
Never.
Because you never know when you're going to hit on 2 or 3 of them and they turn into a Robert Mathis and a Dwight Freeney. And now you locked in for 7 years, 10 years. Because I remember when we got Boogie Basham and Epinesa in the same draft and when we followed up by getting Greg Rousseau and all these guys, I remember there was a lot of fans like, and not to say that we hit on all of them, but a lot of fans were like, what are we doing this for? But I'm like,
because if they hit, we own.
If they hit, we locked in. And
Right.
right now, you think about it, 4 years later, Greg Rousseau is a perennial starter in this league. You know what I mean? Hasn't reached, I think, his full potential yet. But he's scraping, you know what I mean, the surface. Boogie Basham went on. He was he had value because he got traded to the Giants, I think, last year. AJ Epinesa just signed his second contract in the NFL with us, who's honestly continuing to improve his role. I think he had 2 interceptions last year, a bunch of batted passes, maybe 5, 6 sacks. So like I love the fact that we love to keep a good end or two or three on the
Mhm.
roster because Dwight Freeney, Robert Mathis, those guys. I mean, you go back to even the Julius Peppers of the world when he was out there flying around with a couple of his ends over in Carolina. You need some good defensive ends. So with that being said,
Absolutely.
yeah, shout out to
Well,
Dwight.
I mean, speaking of that, you might as well segue right into what our DN's looking like this year. And
Right.
you know, now that the pads are back on, not even back on, now that the pads are on, now we can actually start to get some real traction on what this line, both O line and D line, is looking like. And you know, from some of the camp reports from yesterday, her Mr. Miller was
Yeah,
out there kind of wreaking a little bit of havoc.
yeah, man. I was about to put on my Von Miller shirt today because I was like, that's what you love to see. As a fan, when you got a veteran defensive end, Hall of Fame defensive end like him, coming off a major injury just almost 2 years ago, you like come training camp, man. Give me something to hold on to till we get to September. And all reports from Sal, Josh, Matt, Matt, and those guys who do a great job with coverage, they're all saying, man, when they put on the pads, they just saw those flashes. You know, Deion Dawkins said a lot of good things about Vaughn as well.
And
Basically,
said the aura is back.
he said the order is back. He said 40 is back. And I would love that. You know what I mean? I know he went through some stuff off the field, which whatever happened with that seems like it was situated with him and his girlfriend. But on the field, we just know he didn't look the same last year. And that happens. You 34 years old, 35, whatever he is right now, and you trying to come off of his type of injury. I don't care if you LeBron James. That stuff is not, you know what I mean? You can't walk on the field and just think that everything is going to be okay, especially a physical sport like football. Like this is not just a catch and shoot game. You know what I
Right.
mean? And not to say that basketball doesn't put some wear and tear on your body, but like football, you are smashing yourself, especially at his position. You're smashing yourself up against 300, 330 pound tackles game in and game out, whether it was
Right.
20
And
snaps.
if you can't trust your legs or trust your knees, and you constantly thinking about it, you're not going to be able to work to your fullest ability. So honestly, I feel like that was probably the biggest thing. He probably was healthy, but I
Right.
feel like mentally being able to trust your legs enough to actually play the way you play was probably a big factor. So I mean, granted, he also played with that brace the majority of the year too, and still only a year out of surgery. So I mean,
Right.
there's definitely was some physical limitations as well. But if he can come back anywhere close to that stature he was, even his first year with us, that's
2022.
going to
That's what
make
I'm
this
thinking.
team a massive difference on defense.
Yeah, because I mean, if you think back to that first year with us and he had 8 sacks, I think it was it 8 sacks before he got hurt? I know it was something like that.
Yeah, it was around there. Yeah,
Okay.
he was getting close to double digits.
So like, and you think about the games that he impacted. I think about Baltimore. I think about Kansas City game. Like these are top teams that when we needed a play, he found ways to make plays. And we were like, oh, this is why we got you. And then you fast forward to last year and you see the big games that we played and not having him at 100%, it definitely, I feel like, affected some of those outcomes because as good as Greg Rousseau and Epinesa and those guys are, they're not closers like a Von Miller. They can make plays, and they can get their hands up. And I love the way they defend the run, especially both of them. But like Von, the reason why he is a Hall of Famer is that when it comes down to when I need to make a play, I can make a play. Whether that's
That
getting my
closer.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like everybody need a closer. You know, any sport you can think of. You know, obviously I'm a basketball guy, so you know what I mean? Kobe wasn't Kobe without his fourth quarter heroics. You know what I mean?
Right.
Everybody knew he could go 6 for 25. But guess what? In the last 3 minutes, when it was bean time and he
Right.
started grinning his teeth, everybody know, oh, okay, Kobe he
Oh, he
about to
different.
set us home.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Bron inherited that overall his career
Mhm.
is that mentality, that Mamba mentality, what we call it. Von has that.
Yeah.
And the
And,
Bills
and
missed that.
right. And the thing that he has, and hopefully he can tap back into, that's something this defense hasn't had. And shit. Well, I mean, what's the last bona fide defensive end we had? I mean, Jerry Hughes was very good at his job, but I feel like he never had the help around him to actually
Right.
finish
I
because
think
he
the
would
best.
he would get pressures like crazy, but never got those numbers. So we talking what? Mario Williams?
Yeah, probably Mario Williams, and before
We
that,
so
what
we
Aaron
right.
Schobel would give you like what eight
Yeah.
sacks,
So the
3
last time we
extra.
probably had a bona fide D end tandem was probably Mario Williams and
Bruce Smith.
nah, not that. I don't think we got to go that far back.
So
I don't think we got
I
to
say
go that far.
Aaron Schobel was an honorable mention because he was a
Yeah,
workaholic
yeah. Aaron Schobel was a beast. I mean,
yeah
he was shit, probably our best player on defense for
for about a
damn
7 year.
near a decade.
Then he retired at like 28 because he like, nah, I'm tired of
He
losing.
said, "Fuck this." No,
Yeah.
I'll definitely say Jerry Hughes and Mario Williams was a legitimate
Oh, that was a
NFL
1-2. That
defensive
was a
end
good 1-2
tandem.
punch. Yeah.
So I
That was
mean, but that's 10 years ago since we had some bona fide studs at that position.
right. So that's why I'm just like, if he can give us anywhere from, and I'll be
Big
real,
if.
I'll
Yeah,
say
that's a bonus though, because I don't think anybody is counting on Von being Von Miller of old. So if he's able to provide anything close to that, that's a cherry on top.
yeah. And I think what you do is if I'm the Bills, especially the first month, I'm mainly using his snaps for the fourth quarter. Like first
Oh
three
well, yeah,
quarters,
yeah,
I might sprinkle you in if it's third and long or
yeah,
whatever. But like I'm saving you for the fourth quarter where
put the
I
money
know,
down.
yep, where I know if I need a big play, I can bring you in there.
Yeah, like you're not coming off the field those last 5 6 minutes if it's a close game.
Yeah, if it's a close game, and then luckily, hopefully it is some games in there, especially when we play teams like Arizona, Tennessee early on. Hopefully those are games where you can
Run it up.
run it up and be like, all right, Von, go ice yourself
Yeah, go.
over
Yeah,
there. We
go
gonna
be you. Like I need like what I want in one of these first early games is for the Bills to kind of if they can get a big lead early and go into just quarterback seek mode
yeah,
and let Von just get into his groove early in the season, like
yeah,
yo, I think that'd be massive for his confidence. So like if we can just get up on Arizona early and
yeah,
force them to be one dimensional and
right.
let them boys just go loose.
Yeah, the key for me, and I know we jumping ahead though, is when we play a team like Arizona with the quarterback that he is really just getting that pressure up the middle against Kyler Murray. If we get that pressure up the middle, I think Von, Greg Rousseau, and those guys, they can have a big home opener, a big season opener in that game because we all know Kyler Murray, if he get a little bit of a crack, he can escape.
Oh,
But what I
yeah, I'm clogging the middle of that field up
yeah,
immediately against him, like nonstop. Like I'm
yeah,
sending Bernard up that middle
go ahead.
quick.
All them boys. Milano,
Yeah, it's gonna be a
yeah,
whole bunch of nonstop action because
I
like
guess
I need that middle of the field to be clogged up because I mean Murray's a good quarterback, but he's still not that dude.
nah, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like if you hurry him to move into uncomfortable situations, and it's not to say he is statue, but if you can get him to just move off of what he wants to do, and like I said, I know he can create plays himself, but it's a season opener. You can throw as many wrinkles as you want at Kyler as you can, because I know he's gonna be trying to work on getting chemistry down with Harrison as well.
Yep.
But like I'm bringing Taron Johnson. I'm making sure Ed Oliver knows, like, hey, listen, this game, I need you to win your matchups. Like, I need you to cause disruption up that middle. Same with Daquan Jones. But like, yeah, I think I agree. I hope they can get him off to a good start. Those first few games. 'Cause I know he probably won't play a lick of preseason. I mean, if he does, it might be the last game, and they might put him in there for like
Yeah,
five.
man, I doubt that boy see the field at all.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I doubt it, but like, if he
Bro,
does,
you 35. You don't even need to touch preseason.
I know. So for those looking for him to play preseason, it might not happen, but um, as our first topic, it's definitely big to mention that. Do want to add to y'all too as we move along. Our episodes virtually will be our shorter ones. So, we probably got another 15-20 minutes to discuss what's happening from the first week of camp, but be locked in when we do our in-person breakdowns because we will be able to extend our episodes a little longer, give you maybe 55 minutes, 58 minutes, an hour or whatever. But this episode will be a little shorter, but we still going to try to hit everything that we came on here to hit. But just a recap of week one, man. What was your favorite storyline or just something that kind of caught your attention the most from week one?
I say one of the biggest things is just the different formations and different formation groups that they've been rolling out. I mean, a lot of bunch formations. You got different matchups. You go on two tight ends, but you throwing Cook out wide, or you got Samuel in the backfield, and just like looking at the different groupings that are possible. Like I feel like Joe Brady can be in his bag with the type of weapons that they have. Like I still want a receiver to step up and be obviously that alpha, that stud, but seeing that they're already out here tinkering with so many different matchups, so many different formations, so many different, you know, placements of players, like I'm just excited to kind of see how that evolves as we go. Cause I'm starting to get that itch already. Like, all right, let me see this thing in motion. Cause
In real
we
life.
really do got a brand new coordinator. It's not a completely different system. However, we got a completely different skill set of receivers. So I really wanted to see how this continues to develop over the next couple weeks at practice, and then we get to the games.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I mean, I think between the formations and just honestly hearing about the players who are putting their stamp on camp early. I love hearing that Kyrie Elam went through a stretch for like 3 days where he had an interception each day. I mean, that to me, those are the confidence boosters that we need for the young players. Love hearing that Keon early on, the first 3, 4 days of camp is finding his way in the end zone. Whether it's behind the defense, whether it's jump ball situations, whether it's getting both feet in bounds on a rope, in the back of the end zone. Like those are the things that I think to me are very important when we're looking at training camp highlights is like who is growing their chemistry, right? Which young guys are going to be able to stack the good days. Now, obviously, unfortunately, we had some injuries pop up, which we can kind of touch on a little bit, but like the good part for me was the Keon Coleman stuff, the connection there. Curtis Samuel obviously showing those fans who are like, yeah, we'll see. Like, no, this guy, as I've been saying, is really like that. He is a mismatch nightmare, I think, for an offensive coordinator who knows how to use him. Like Curtis just being back with Joe Brady and then having Josh Allen to me is a cheat code because number
Oh
one, he
yeah,
gets to be back with his offensive coordinator where he was most successful with 4 years ago, and then you put that with a top three, top two quarterback. Now we may, for the first time in probably his career in the NFL, get to see Ohio State Curtis, where like you got to watch wherever he's at on the field because he could pop off a 20, he could pop off a 50, or he could get you a 7-yard run for a first down. So like the creativity that they can do with guys like Curtis, with Khalil Shakir, the tight ends. Kincaid is off to a great start in camp. Dawson Knox, the forgotten man, right? Still making plays in the red zone. Then you got Ray Davis and James Cook in the backfield. And I know Ty Johnson is hurt right now, but hopefully you get him back in the fold. But if not, we get to see in the preseason Frank Gore Jr. We get to see the other running back that we had from last year who they brought back. I think his last name is Evans. So
yeah,
uh
Darrington Evans.
Darrington Evans. So it's just a lot. It's a lot going on, but I agree, man. I want to see it all on the field. I want to see it against a real opponent. That's why I'm really looking forward to the Chicago preseason game because first off, yeah, we get that taste out of our mouth to watch the Bills put on a uniform and play another team.
Right.
But number two, great opportunities for those young bucks to really go against some other young bucks. I mean, Caleb Williams, Roma Dunze, and those young guys they got over there. Listen, it can be a rookie goddamn showcase
Sure can.
first half. I mean, you might get a Keon Coleman touchdown followed by a Rome touchdown. Hopefully not. Caleb Williams highlight. So if you're a Bills fan, you need to get excited about next week because that's really going to be that has the potential of being just a young.
Yeah, I'm excited to seeing Caleb Williams out there too. I mean, you got the
Yeah,
first overall pick, who's been a stud the last few years in college. So
right.
just even get the chance to see him in his first
Yeah.
NFL action is dope too. And then even better that it's against the Bills. So kind of getting best of both worlds. But I will say another thing I'm excited about is like starting to get an idea of what this team looks like, just even from like a red zone standpoint. Because you already knew that you have a touchdown machine in Dawson, who is, proven to have, 5, 6+ touchdowns every year. mean, I think Kincaid will be a good red zone target over his career also. But now
Right.
you add in a Keon Coleman, you add in a Mac Hollins who has good size. Like, you know, and you already have the running ability of Josh down there anyway. So like I think that's one area that we can see even more improvement because they were a decent red zone team last year. I'm pretty sure they were top 10. But I feel like their numbers can get even better this year. So like I'm just really excited to start seeing them in different scenarios. So see what this looks like in preseason. See what this looks like at the scrimmage they do at the stadium this week. So I just want to see how this offense continues to evolve.
Yeah, you are you able to make it this Friday to the stadium, or are you
Yeah,
chilling?
I mean, as long as nothing changes between
Nothing
now and
changing,
then, I
bud?
mean, we
I
got
got
tickets for it, so we'll be there.
Okay, yeah, we'll be where we be. Trying to get there accordingly. You know how the time schedules go. I mean, parking
Right.
lot's gonna be open at 4. I think the practice start at 5:30. So guys, hey, if you run into Zyrus, you run into myself, feel free to say hello. Feel free to be like, hey, I listened to you guys. Good job, or whatever you want to say. But nah, we decent
You
people.
suck. No, I'm just kidding.
Nah, I know, right? You guys actually suck. Nah.
Like your podcast is trash. Like,
Yeah,
wow.
just wanted to let you know in person. I ain't want to comment. I just wanted to tell you in person. But nah, man, we outside for that. Because I know I'm not gonna make it to St. John Fisher this year.
Nah, that ain't in my cards either.
I flirted with the idea, and then some work stuff came up, and I was like, you know what? I'm not even gonna force it. I'm gonna be at the practice, followed by the game the next week. So I'm like, I will be in there. So I don't have to worry about getting all of my bills in 1 week. I will see my boys play. So, speaking of offense, anything on defense that has got you excited or maybe concerned?
I mean, I guess from a concern standpoint, is right now it's definitely just the safety room. And that's mostly just because of the injuries now. I mean, we got Mike Edwards who's week to week. And now uh Cole Bishop gets hurt
Right.
at this past practice. They said his arm was heavily wrapped
Yeah.
after this practice. So, so right now the health kind of concerns me at that safety position because, I feel like that was our biggest area of weakness coming into this offseason from a
Yeah.
defensive standpoint.
Yeah.
So
Question.
now that health is part of it too, that definitely raises my concern level. I mean, we did sign Kareem Jackson,
Right.
which I mean, at this point, you're 36, you've been in the league forever. I mean, he was drafted the
36.
same year CJ Spiller was drafted, just to
Yeah.
give you some reference.
I
So,
know he's been around for a while.
yeah, but that just gives us just the some depth. I mean, I don't think that's a starter level signing, but that puts another body in the room. So right now, I'd say the biggest concern probably is that safety position.
Got you. Yeah, I would have to kind of agree as far as the concern goes, because I think D line, they from everything I've heard, they look good. Like we already mentioned, Vaughn is looking like himself. Greg is getting in the backfield. I haven't heard too much about Daquan Jones, but I know he's working himself back from what he dealt with last year. But I mean, it's a veteran group, so I expect nothing but them to continue to do their part. Linebacker wise,
Yeah,
obviously Bernard and Milano back. Milano easing himself back out there, but I mean, from everything I hear, even in 11-11s, he on the field.
right.
He's breaking up pass plays, chasing down guys and stuff like that. So I love I love the fact that they're not like babying him, so to speak, where it's just
Yeah,
like,
it
nah,
don't even look like they limited his snap count at all. Like he
right.
just regular
Yeah.
practice like normal.
Yeah, let him play, let him get his feet under him because I know there
Yeah,
was a
knock the
couple
rust
videos.
off.
Yeah, I know there was a couple videos out there that was concerns with the way he was bursting or coming off his stance or whatever the case may be. But I think a lot of that stuff is normal because I think majority of people know when it's a leg injury, it's going to take you even more time to just get that burst back. We
Mm-hmm.
talked about that a little bit with Vaughn. It's like trusting your first step and being able to get off like you want to get off, especially when you're a guy like Milano. Like Milano go-to car probably is that quickness, that ability to just go. He see a play, he shed that block, and boom, 4-yard loss. Or boom, stop for no gain. So definitely want to see what he looks like in preseason if they play him, because they could hold him out. Because we got so many linebackers now. That's one thing I do want to mention is linebacker is actually one of our strengths for the
Yeah,
first
they
time.
went to the extreme. They said we
Yeah.
ain't having that issue we had last year.
Yeah, nah. Like, AJ Klein retired. We'll see how long that lasts. But AJ Klein went ahead and retired. But like our linebacker room, I almost forgot about Nicholas Murrow. a veteran slash backup slash starter who's been in the league for a little bit, but he one of our backups. You tie him along with Dorian Williams. You tie him along with Deion Jones,
Hmm.
and the other linebacker that we got in this
Yeah, you
draft.
still got Balin Spector.
Still got Specter in there
Oh, what
too.
I can't pronounce. Oh, Olafascio.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I said. The
So I
young,
mean,
yeah,
we done named 7 linebackers deep
yeah,
already.
yeah. And the first 4, 5 can start. You know what I mean? From Deion Jones to Murrow to Dorian Williams, like those 5 can start in a pinch. You know, whether it's a small injury or something like that, you could put those guys in there and not have to feel like, oh my gosh, everything is going wrong. So love that. But then right along to the safeties, I'm with you. I think the corners are solid, but it's that safety position. You know what I mean? You don't want to have to go into the season with just, okay, Taylor Rapp, Damar Hamlin. I need y'all to hold it down for the first
Let's
4 weeks.
ride. Like I
Yeah.
mean, if I had to roll into that week 1, I'll be like, okay,
Okay.
but I want to be better than that.
Right. Nah, and I think most would agree. I think most, I know I've heard the Justin Simmons comments. I've heard the comments about why don't we,
Go
call
bring Micah Hyde back
yeah, why don't we call Micah Hyde on speed dial? Like, get his ass in here. Like,
because it's training camp time. It's not the time they're gonna bring Hyde back. Hyde
yeah,
coming in week 6.
right. Week 6, week 11, damn near.
Right,
Like,
playoff push time. That ain't gonna be.
yeah,
This
like,
ain't the time.
and the last part of that is you can't force a guy who's contemplating retirement to just, hey, we dealing with some injuries. Can you do it? Like, you
Call me
know,
back in a month once training camp over. I'm hanging
yeah,
with my family.
right. You may can get a guy to think about it, but I think the real way to do it is just do what they did. Get some bodies in there. You got a veteran who's been in the league 15 years. Cool. I know he a little bit of a headhunter. He a little crazy when it come to attacking the ball, but at least he's a veteran.
Yeah, it's
Um,
been there, done that.
yeah, he been with some playoff teams. He's been through some ugly years with Houston. And then you add the other guy. I'm not too familiar with Burgess. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. I know he played with the Commanders last year. And then before that, I think, excuse me, might have been Tampa or another team. But I know that just happened a little bit before we started recording. So we'll come back to that next week. But we'll see. Definitely a question mark. But I think as a whole, the defense, nobody, for the most part, has any real concerns that they will be a top 10 unit. And I think that the fact that we have that in our back pocket and we can speak to that in a confident manner is really a hat a tip of the hat to McDermott and Babbage, because that shows that I think most of the fan base just have faith in McDermott to be like, oh, he'll figure it out. We'll be
Yeah,
good. We'll figure it out. And that's kind of where I'm at. Like, even at safety, I'm like, if it has to be that rotation of DeMar, Rapp, and Cam Lewis, is
I
that
think it would still be fine because if nothing else, McDermott has shown that he can coach up secondaries. And he can make sure that this team is in place where the machine can keep rolling. So even like I said, even worst case scenario, you're rolling out with Rapp and Hamlin. I think they can do enough to still cover that up, whereas they're not at too much of a deficit.
and having a vet, I will say having a veteran like Kareem Jackson, if he stays on the team, let's say as a
Yeah.
fourth or fifth
Even if
safety,
it's just for the room.
yeah, you know what I mean. That's 15 years of experience that you just can't. You know what I mean? That's just not walking around. You know what I mean? That's
Right.
more years in the game than Poyer and Hyde. So like, um, not really concerned, but I thought we should at least address that. Now, I know we only got 3 or 4 semi minutes going into the closing of this episode, but anything you want to leave us to that you're looking forward to in week 2 of training camp? Anything that you're looking for most on the practice that we got this week, the red and blue?
I just want to see Josh continue the start of a solid training camp. I mean, most reports every day he's pretty much on target, on fire, making good reads, making good throws, making good decisions. I just want to see that trend continue. Keep building up the chemistry with Keon, with Samuel, with Hollins. Maybe there'll be an MVS spotting or Claypool spotting, but
Maybe.
just to see Josh continue this, good start to the training camp. That's pretty much what I'm looking forward to on Friday.
Yeah, I would agree. I know sometimes they do take it light. I think I went to one where it was a lot of good back and forth 11 on 11 work. Then I went to another practice that was at the stadium where it was like, oh, these motherfuckers is really just out here. Like, it's like an off day, they just chilling. So I hope they can give us some 11-11 action. Give us possibly a look at some good one-on-ones between the DBs and wide receivers. I think the fans always love that. You know, a little Keon versus Benford, Keon versus Kyer. But yeah, I just kind of want to see what they're gonna do. Like I said, the coaches are smart enough to not give us too much. With 25 to 40,000 fans there, obviously they're gonna want to interact with the fans and have a good experience overall, just interacting, with the players and things like that. But yeah, I want to see some good one-on-ones, some good 11-on-11 work. I'm
No injuries. That's all I
yeah,
care about.
definitely
Everybody
no
walk out of
injuries.
there injury free, and I'm
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah, can't have that. And Tyler Bass, if they do have him kicking, I need that. 'Cause last time I was in that stadium, Tyler Bass had me ready to, you know what I mean? I was ready to flip. So hopefully Bass can even while he practicing, show me like 5 in a row or something. Give me
Right,
something
right.
because I listen, Tyler's on a short leash with a
Got to
lot.
regain that trust.
Yeah, he got to regain that chuck because it used to be Bass money and all that type of.
Fast money be back this year. We good. I
Yeah,
got faith in Tyler.
I do too. I just gotta see it in person. That's all.
Yeah, we'll be
Um,
good.
yeah, but anyways, outside of that, man, we look forward to catching up next week. Obviously we'll be able to talk about the Hall of Fame game. We'll be talking about week 2 of training camp, and we'll be talking about getting ready for the first preseason game and what will come from that. So hopefully you guys are excited as we are to get back to the stadium if you are going this Friday. If you're not, I'm sure they're gonna have tons of highlights, tons of footage.
Oh, for
But
sure.
yeah, but it's just gonna be great to get back into the parking lot, get back to seeing some of the old pals, some of the old people that you normally see when you're walking through there. And like I said, man, it's that time. Football, you can smell it. It's in the air. The helmet's back.
Yes,
The,
sir.
yeah, the kids are back in town, and it's time to get ready to rock and roll. So
Absolutely, man. We appreciate y'all rocking with us for another week. But either way, man, like I said, we'll be back next week, recapping week 2, recapping the scrimmage.
yes,
And
sir.
this your boy Z.
And this is Val.
And we'll catch y'all next week. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, all that good stuff. We here for y'all.
All that, man. We'll be talking to y'all soon. Peace out.
Yes, sir.